Hello everybody, welcome back to American Gunman. I am Damien and today we're going to be discussing a huge problem in America. In the United States, we have way too many guns to choose from. So today I'm going to be getting into the 3 guns that I think every American should own. Now your list is likely a little different than mine, so let me know the 3 guns that you would choose in the comments below. Also, if you could like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, it really helps me out a ton. Now let's get into the list. The first gun I think every American should own is a good pump-action shotgun. You can either go with the longer, more hunting style, like this Benelli Supernova, or you can go with something a little bit shorter, like this Mossberg Shockwave. This would probably be better for the home defense, but this is a bit more versatile. Going into a little more detail on this here Shockwave, I like the pump action because it's reliable, it has the well-known go-away sound, and I like to put a light on my defense guns because most bad things happen at night, and it's always good to have ammo on hand. Now for the Benelli Supernova, it has the light. I always like to keep the ammo very close, and a sling is also important. I like how this gun looks a lot better legally. If you end up using it, it looks a lot more set up for hunting than it does defense, and that actually does matter a lot when the juries are reviewing a case if you do end up using it. But yeah, 3.5-inch magnums, you can take down any game with it. If you put a shorter barrel on it, it'll do great in the house as well, and you can't go wrong with a good pump shotgun. Now the second gun I think every American should own is a good 9mm pistol. Honestly, most striker fire 9mm pistols these days are going to be just as reliable as each other, have very similar features, and cost about the same price. So I think the best way to choose one is to go to your local range and rent as many as you can and choose the one that works best for you. That's how I ended up with this VP9. I tried about a dozen pistols. I shot the best with this one. It was the most comfortable and it's the one I like the most. Accessories are going to be a little more simple on this one. I like to have a light on all my defense guns, as I said before, so it has a light on it. You're going to want a good holster if you choose to carry it. And I do have a little laser on here. That's a bit optional. This light came with it. I will be upgrading this light soon, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the laser. Honorable mention time. So first we have this Ruger 1022. You can get one a lot more basic than this. I've upgraded every part on it except for the receiver and the trigger. I do have another trigger for it. But I think that a 1022 is a perfect gun to get new people into shooting, practice your fundamentals. It's really cheap to shoot, really cheap to modify, and can build a good base for your entire firearms journey. Honorable mention number 2 is going to be a larger caliber bolt action or semi-auto. This is an IHC M1 Garand. I love this gun. It's a ton of fun to shoot. If you're into history, choose a Milsurp. It's going to perform great. They have awesome history to them. You can typically get pretty decent prices on them as well. And this one is a semi-auto, holds 8 rounds, and you get the classic Garand ping. Another choice could be a bolt-action Milsurp. This is a Sauer K98 from World War II. This shoots 8mm Mauser, which has taken deer and other game all over the world for about a century. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with something like this. They're great guns, they shoot well. They used to be more affordable, but you can still get decent deals on Milsurps. Now, if you're more into hunting, you might want to choose a more modern bolt action like a Remington 700 or a Tikka T3. All of my bolt actions are Milsurps at the moment, but that could change in the future. Now, the number 1 gun I think every American should own is going to be the classic AR-15. These are a staple in American gun culture. There was talks about them getting banned, which is why I ended up choosing to buy one when I did. This was the second gun I ever purchased. But I love it. 223 is relatively cheap, and you can get a CMMG bolt for it, so it shoots 22 LR right out of the same barrel. And you can't beat that for being able to plink around, practice your fundamentals, and train with the gun that you'll probably end up using. For attachments, I would always put on a light, again, for any defensive gun. I believe it should have a light. You need sights on it, of course. I used to have an optic that moved to my Draco because I want something with zoom on my AR. And the final accessory I would put on it is a sling. A sling is incredibly important because it stops my gun from becoming our gun, from becoming their gun. And it's also important if you need to hang it to use 2 hands for anything, really. So yeah, that's going to be my list. So what does your list look like? What are the 3 guns that you think everybody should have? Again, you know my list right here. And if I could only keep 3 guns, it might not be the 3 that I listed in this, but that's coming in another video. As always, if you watched this far, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment your list down below, and I will see you on the next video.